We are here with Terry Hutchinson, skipper and president of sailing operations at New York Yacht Club American Magic, challenger of the 37th America's Cup. Terry, could you tell us which were the goals for today?
Well, what were the goals today? The goals were to two-boat race on the race course that we'll be sailing the 37th America's Cup on, in different sea state and different wind strengths than what we've seen in the past. And so, you know, it was a hard day. It would have been a hard day in the to race the 40, the 75 being a bigger platform probably, as we were seeing with Allingi and Team New Zealand ripping around. It was a pretty good day.
So in these conditions of strong winds and big swells, which are the different adjustments that the trimmers can do on the boat in order to prevent ventilation and nose diving, especially when sailing downwind and when doing maneuvers?
Yeah, I think the true challenge to maintain a steady platform starts with the helmsman sailing around, you know, putting the boat in a good spot in the waves. I think, as you just rightfully pointed out, you know, it's very easy for one of these boats to sail through the waves, and so the helmsman managing how they sail through the waves, the trimmers setting the sails up so they're balanced enough, and from a foil perspective, you know, keeping the platform in a spot that it's never too far wrong, you know, because all three of those things locked in will keep the boat going in a straight line pretty nicely. Very challenging though.
Then during the last 2 weeks, the focus has been on the development of foil wings and foil flaps, and we noticed some modifications on the starboard side flap of America. What are you trying to achieve in terms of design with those changes?
Well, I think what we're trying to achieve, and probably really what all the teams are trying to achieve, I mean, the beauty of a day like today is it's very, very challenging. And so, you know, we all face this struggle of you're never going to make a slow foil fast, and yet a foil that can perform well enough in different conditions that keeps the boat out of the water. I mean, as we saw today, all of our family of foils each one has its little strength and weakness, and yet all it takes is the boat to fall out of the sky once and the race is over. And so you work very, very hard on making sure that the subtle little changes that we're working to improve ventilation, as an example.
Do you think the design of the final foils for the AC40 will be in line with any of these foils in particular?
Well, you'd be disappointed if it wasn't, because we've been testing them since June, actually since April. So I would think, you know, when you look across the fleet, you see all the teams have similar areas and similar concepts of foils, and so really the subtleties is the difference in how the foils perform across the range.
Then now moving into the sails, even though it was not the main focus during the last 2 weeks, I noticed that on your component declaration form that you haven't tested so far any J3s. What's the reason for that?
Money.
Okay.
Everything costs money, and so we're trying to make sure that we're being smart with our resource. And so to spend that resource on a J3 for an AC40 doesn't seem like a prudent move. And the threes that are the one design sails are nice sails, and so they fit the build. So
definitely you are allocating, can we say that you're allocating more resources for lighter wind conditions components and not so much for stronger wind conditions components?
No, because you were asking me about the J3s, so that's not actually what I said. What I said was the J3s are nice, and we're balancing our resource to use it in other areas. We have to support this recon program, which is wonderful, and you guys are great guys, so we got to take care of that, and all the fuel to chase these incredible pieces of equipment around. So
okay, and thank you for those accomplishments.
Thank you.
Last question. So we have, I think, 1, 2, or 3 days remaining with the two boats testing in your planning. Have you been able so far to test everything you wanted to test?
I think we're chipping through the list. I do. I think you see a day like today, and it reminds you really how hard this is. And we're doing it at a smaller scale, and so when we saw Alinghi or Team New Zealand sail by on the bigger platform, it's a heavier platform, it's a more stable platform. You know, it's a good reminder of what we're testing on right now, but where we're going, and how what might be really hard in the 40 might not be so hard in the 75. And so with that lens, you have to continue to trust the experience of the sailors and the designers to see which ones you pick and choose from.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.